What's up, everybody? So you're wanting to know the difference between Yachats and Manzanita, Oregon. Well, in this video, we're going to go over the differences of Manzanita versus Yachats, and we're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of Manzanita or Yachats, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to learn about the market on the coast. My name is Eddie, and I get emails, texts, calls every single day from people just like you looking to make a move to the coast. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Let's jump on a Zoom so I can help you make a smooth move to the Oregon coast today. Well, we are going to go over the pros and cons of Manzanita and Yachats. Well, today we are going to go in a grudge match between Manzanita and Yachats, and we're going to go right now. First, let's talk about the location. Manzanita is on the northern Oregon coast. And from Portland, Oregon, if you're traveling from Portland, Oregon, you're going to be traveling about an hour and 40 minutes roughly to get to Manzanita. You're going to go up Highway 26, maybe go to Seaside and drop down through Cannon Beach on the coast right there. Or you might drop down through Tillamook, come through Nehalem Bay up to Manzanita. The other option, if you're going from Portland to Yachats, you can think of a 3-hour drive. You're going to go down I-5, probably go over to Newport and down to Yachats on Highway 101. From Salem, it's almost the exact same distance, about 2 hours and 10-minute drive either way, whether you're going through Tillamook to go up to Manzanita or you're going through Newport to go down to Yachats. Either way, it's about a 2-hour and 10-minute drive from Salem to either coastal city. Yachats is more on the central Oregon coast. It's 30 minutes south of Newport, 30 minutes north of Florence. It is a perfect location for seclusion, beauty, and fairly good weather. Depending on where you're coming from and how long of a drive you want to make to get to either city, you're going to have to make that decision on your own. It's a very subjective decision. I don't know if you're coming from Portland, Washington, Salem, Bend, anywhere south. I would say if you're coming from Salem and you're going south and you want a quicker route, you're probably going to choose Yachats because Manzanita is on the northern Oregon coast. If you're more towards North Salem all the way up to Portland and up into Washington, you're probably going to want to choose Manzanita because an hour to 2-hour drive is a lot better than a 3 to 4 hour drive all the way down to the central Oregon coast of Yachats. If you're anywhere in the southern Oregon region or the central Oregon region, it's probably going to be one of those decisions that you got to make case by case, but I would say location wise, Yachats is probably going to be the better option for you. As for the demographics of Manzanita, you got a population of about 600 according to the 2020 census compared to 990 for the Yachats population in the same census. So when you're thinking about where it is and how many people are there, you're going to get a little bit more seclusion when it comes to Manzanita. A lot of second homes, a lot of people that aren't living there, especially during the winter months. So what you can expect is a huge rush of tourists and people coming in the summer months like everywhere else, but you're going to see I'd say a larger flood of people when it comes to the summer months in Manzanita rather than Yachats, just because of the location and the proximity to Portland. Well, let's talk about the geography. When you think about Manzanita and Yachats, they're both butted up to large mountain-like geographical features. If you just Google or check this picture out of Manzanita, you see a Neahkahnie Mountain right there. Manzanita is at the base of Neahkahnie Mountain, and it is right next to the Nehalem Bay. So when you're thinking about summer months, you're going to get less wind in Manzanita because the wind is coming from the north and it's going to hit Neahkahnie Mountain. So you're not going to be getting a lot of that summer wind for most of the day. On the other hand, you've got Yachats that has Cape Perpetua to the south. Cape Perpetua is going to be somewhat of a shield of the wind during the winter because the winter winds come from the south. But in the summer, you're going to get those northerly winds coming, and there's really no protection when it comes to Yachats. Okay, I talked about where these cities were according to Portland and Salem, the bigger cities maybe where you're traveling from, but when you're actually there, What are the bigger cities and how far are they? Well, when you think about that, it's got to be shopping for one, because you're not going to have major shopping in any of these little villages or towns of Yachats and Manzanita. So when you're talking about Manzanita, you're about 35 minutes from Tillamook to the south. You're about 35 minutes to Seaside to the north, and about an hour to Astoria to the north. So when you're doing big box shopping, or you're going to go shopping at, say, Costco up in Warrenton, or any type of a bigger grocery store, Seaside, you're looking at a 30-minute drive. Tillamook, 30-minute drive. Yachats is the same way. You've got Walport to the north about 15 minutes, and then Newport to the north about 30 minutes. So major shopping like Ray's Food Market or Fred Meyer Safeway, that's going to be in Newport, or Florence to the south, which is another 30-minute drive. So either way, no matter how you cut it, you're going to have about a 30-minute drive, whether you're in Yachats or Manzanita, to the bigger city centers and the bigger shopping centers. Healthcare. I'm definitely going to have to take Yachats. You've got the Samaritan Hospital in Newport, which is by far and away one of the best hospitals on all of the Oregon coast, 30 minutes north in Newport. That is a fairly new hospital. It's a full service hospital. It has everything you'll need. Manzanita has two hospitals, one to the south, one to the north. You've got Adventist Hospital in Tillamook and Providence Hospital to the north in Seaside. Those are smaller hospitals compared to Samaritan Hospital in Newport. Either way, no matter which town you choose, you're going to get about a 30-minute drive to a bigger hospital center for all of your healthcare needs. I would probably say that Newport and Yachats is going to be the better option here. So when we're going against the tail of the tape, Yachats definitely has better healthcare options than Manzanita at this point. We go to nightlife and shopping. I already discussed the shopping. In Manzanita, there are a couple small places where you can go shopping for groceries, and you can do those things. There's not going to be anything major. You're going to have to drive if you want to go to get anything major. If you're talking about restaurants and nightlife, there are so many good restaurants, and I could list off a ton of them, whether it's Manzanita or Yachats. But you just got to know that those restaurants, those shops, those bars are going to shut down between, I'd say, 7 p.m. and at the latest 10 p.m. So a lot of people aren't trying to be out past 10 p.m., but if you are, there really aren't any options past 10 p.m. in either Yachats or Manzanita. So you got to scrape that off your list. You're going to be at home most of the time past 9 p.m., regardless of which city you choose. So now let's do the tail of the tape. When we talk about geography, I would give Manzanita the edge when it comes to geography and proximity to where things are according to Manzanita. You've got Tillamook, Seaside, Astoria, and Portland all within about an hour and 15, hour and 40 minutes. Because when we talk about going to Portland, that's like downtown Portland. But when you're going to just say Hillsboro or you're going to Beaverton, that's only, that's a quick shot right across the mountain there, coastal range. So you have those options. It's close. I'm going to give the edge in that aspect to Manzanita. But if we're talking about you want to be in a place that's kind of more remote, you want to be more private, you want to get less tourists, I definitely have to say that Yachats is going to be the place that you're going to be. Yes, it might be a farther drive, but when you get there, there's going to be a lot less tourism. There's going to be less people, less congestion than its northern coast counterpart. Demographics, I'd say we have a tie. It's very close on population, very close on density. So when we talk about which one you want to live in, that's just going to be a subjective one. So we're going to make that a tie. Geography, I would say that Yachats has the edge here. Why? You have tons of hiking trails. You've got places to go surfing within 20 to 30 minutes. You have wonderful, beautiful beaches. You have the thing that tips the scales for me is one of the most beautiful, iconic drives between Yachats and Florence. It is the Big Sur of the Oregon coast. If you're trying to see the most beautiful drive ever, you got to take the drive between Yachats and Florence. It is breathtaking. So I'm definitely going to give the geographical nudge to Yachats on this one. What we didn't talk about was the weather. Now, in Manzanita, it has a little bit lower amount of annual rainfall and precipitation, but the average number of annual sunny days is only 125 days annually. In Yachats, you're getting about 160 to 170 days annually. So if you want more sun throughout the year, I know it's only a couple hundred miles south, but you're getting almost a month more of annual sunshine than Manzanita. So I definitely have to give the edge on that one to Yachats. So when it comes to precipitation, it comes to sunshine, it comes to cloudy days, the winner is always going to be Yachats when it comes to weather. And now the winner of our small town tale of the tape grudge match, I've got to give the winner to Yachats. Yachats, whether it's the geography, the healthcare, the weather, the nightlife, it's either a tie or it's a winner compared to Manzanita. I know I did give the edge to Manzanita on a couple things, but I would say that Yachats is going to give you everything you want and more. It is the gem of the Oregon coast. It is a beautiful little town on the Oregon coast. And listen, if you need any type of boots on the ground, when we're talking Astoria, Manzanita, Seaside, Yachats, Coos Bay, Brookings, I'm here for you. I can help. Don't hesitate to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and I will help you on that path. And let me know if there's any help you need. And just remember, let's make this the best day ever.